Who is a J. Miller? H. Miller is a religious leader in Australia who claims to be Jesus of Nazareth reincarnated. His movement blends elements of New Age spirituality, Christianity, and different reincarnation ideas. He claims that certain followers of his are biblical figures reincarnated. For example, he claims that his wife is Mary Magdalene reincarnated. Unlike figures like Visceron, Miller is extremely active with his followers from actively teaching, holding seminars, online presence, and allowing the wider society to connect with him and his followers. This sets Miller aside from other groups like the Church of the Last Testament, led by Visceron, which are more removed and isolated and has little contact with followers, whereas Miller actively engages followers. The followers of Miller worship him as the Son of God and believe that the Bible carries some truths, where other parts of the Bible are fabricated. Ultimately, Miller is the one who determines how the Bible should be interpreted, not his followers. Miller calls his movement divine love, and I think what draws people into him is his extreme charisma, activeness with followers, and his strong emphasis on individual revelation. However, the big question is, does Miller tell the truth? No, he doesn't. Why? Because in order to test if someone is Jesus or not, we must examine the figure and compare them to the biblical. Jesus and Miller is extremely different than the biblical Jesus. The Bible makes it clear that reincarnation is false and that it's one life and then judgment. The Bible also teaches that Jesus' second coming is not mysterious, nor is it a fringe group in Australia. Instead, Scripture makes it clear that Christ's return is public, as Jesus describes the world seeing him riding on the clouds of heaven. Plus AG matches the exact warning Jesus gives regarding false messiahs in Matthew's Gospel. Jesus states that many will come in his name, but we are to not believe them. Therefore, any claim to be Jesus should be immediately rejected. On top of that, one of the biggest problems with Miller's divine love movement is that he teaches personal revelation is important, and he claims continuity with Jesus of 2,000 years ago yet. The authority of revelation and what parts of the historical Jesus that is accepted is determined by him, not anybody else. So ultimately everything in the divine love movement points back to AJ. It's a circle. In order to believe AJ, you must believe in his visions, and in order to believe in his visions, you must believe in AJ. Contrast this with Christianity. Belief in Jesus is rooted in biblical prophecy, his life, death, and resurrection. Evidence for Jesus is not circular, but evidence for Miller is circular. Also, during the movement lifetime, it has been accused of emotional manipulation, breaking up families, and finical exploitations. Emotional manipulation is shown through him using emotions of people against them after getting very close to them. He breaks up families by teaching that if you are not happy in a relationship, then they are not your soulmate and you should leave them. And he's accused of finchily manipulating people by trying to create a compound for followers to gather, and the money is given by followers to AJ. Currently, A.J. Miller is still leading divine love and using the internet to share his teachings, and he has become one of the most controversial religious figures in modern history. Especially in Christian circles, has he been known to twist Scripture to justify things like families breaking apart. So considering all this, what can we learn from A.J. Miller? I think what we can learn is that not every spiritually attractive idea equals truth. Charisma doesn't make you a Messiah, and we can learn that the world is still spiritually hungry for meaning. As Christians, we need to be aware of figures like Miller so we can appropriately help and guide his followers to the true Messiah and Son of God, the one who was crucified and resurrected, Jesus the Christ. Because remember, Jesus is the standard in how we evaluate all later claimants.